What if you could learn one trading strategy that could make your trading career? Well, we're going to teach you such a strategy and with step-by-step details in this video. And we're going to do this with a recent real-world trade in a well-known stock made on our desk employing this strategy. If you want to be armed with the trading strategy that some of the best prop traders in the world employ, then stick around. Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, Managing Partner of SMB Capital, a proprietary trading firm located in Midtown Manhattan. I'm also the author of the trading classic, One Good Trade and the Playbook. Click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos produced for the trading community. The one trading setup you can learn that can build your trading career is the breaking news trade. The benefits of this trade are also the risk reward is exceptional. The trade is employed by some of the best intraday traders in the world. 10-figure traders subsist from this one strategy. Drawdowns are minimal. Trading firms have been built relying mainly on this strategy. You can make your month in just one of these trades. And intellectually, it's a pretty stimulating trade. If you want to learn 4 more real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all our new traders, and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar we're currently running. Just click this link to sign up for the free webinar right now. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from it than from years of online education. The one trade that can make your trading career, the breaking news trade. The breaking news trade variables. You're looking for new news to hit the tape. You're looking for news that's unexpected. You're looking for news that's substantial. You want the news to be such that you understand the news. You understand the news. This news should spark a majority of market players to react in the same direction. You want to enter near prices that the stock was trading before the announcement. So you don't want to be chasing. You need access to a reliable news service like a Bloomberg or a Squawk. So we have a Squawk on our trading floor. There are professional market participants who read all of the news headlines and then chirp them out, and that gets pumped into our trading floor. And then Bloomberg is the gold standard for breaking news headlines that come across the marketplace. You want to react quickly. And for some, you want to have a first-in mindset. For others, you'll be a little bit slower and wait for the pullback. We'll discuss that in detail in this video. The takeaway from this screen is I like to think of trades in variables so that when I see them again, when I see similar trades again, I can take a trade based on the variables that I'd like to see to put on a good risk-reward trade. The benefits of this trade, the breaking news trade, is that the risk-reward is exceptional. It's employed by some of the best intraday traders in the world. And when I say that, 10-figure traders from just this one strategy are out there in the prop world just killing it. And the best of these traders actually able to do this with very little drawdowns. Firms, entire firms, tier 1 prop firms have been built relying mainly on this one strategy. It can make your month by catching one trade. And it's intellectually stimulating to follow stocks closely, to be able to react quickly when these breaking news events come out. So objections. And I know there are a lot of them for these trades I've taught for quite a while now, and I traded for quite a while now next to skeptical traders. And you hear, oh, HFTs get all the order flow. Can't take this trade. Well, that wasn't the case in the trade example that we're going to show you, and that certainly isn't the case on all of these setups. This is sometimes true, but even when it is true, there's a setup that I'm going to talk to you about that will allow you to get into this opportunity. And that is play for that second move. For longs, that's waiting for a higher low. And for shorts, that's waiting for a lower high, like in this trade example that we're going to show you. Or you can just scalp the opportunity. Some object, the trade doesn't work for me. Well, like any trade, you must experiment with small size, with a small amount of money in marketplace. You measure and tag your results on this particular trade, and then you've got to work to master it. The trade strategy could go like this. I provide this as an outline. Feel free to change it, tweak it, make it your own. You get a real news catalyst coming out. This news catalyst is such that traders conclude this is a change in the fundamentals of a company. This is a change in the fundamentals of the company. Yesterday we thought X about the company. Now we think X minus 10%. Now we think X plus 20%. And that's released intraday. And it's unusual, and it's unexpected, and it's substantial. And so that hits the tape. What do? You take through lots as quickly as possible, as close to the risk level as possible. And you treat two of those lots as momentum trade, and you treat the other as a trade to hold. And once a trend starts to establish itself, look to add to the core of your position, your trade to hold, at great risk-reward levels. The key is always getting in at great risk-reward levels. Your breaking news trade. So there's different ways to attack this particular trade. One is a first-in trade. Boom. The news hits, boom, you're in right away. Another way is just to not necessarily care whether it's going up or down, just scalp it. Just wait for it to go down too much, get long, wait for it to go up too much, get short. Fade it. The move is just incorrect. You know the news isn't as substantial as people are making it out to be. You fade the move. Or you look for a lower high swing trade. And I'll go ahead and review that lower high swing trade in detail. And I'm also going to focus on that first in trade, because those are two trades you can start experimenting with right away. But look, the key is, what I'm saying to you here is that we have different personalities, we have different strengths, and in the same opportunity with different personalities and different cognitive strengths, you can learn to apply your strengths to the best subset strategy for a breaking news trade. So I like to look at trades with an overview of what's the big picture in a stock, and for me that's what are the longer term technicals in our markets. I want to look at what the fundamentals of this particular stock are. I want to look at the long term and intraday charts. I want to look at the tape, and I want to use my intuition when I'm making trade decisions. So for the big picture for the stock, we're going to look at how's the overall market doing. It's range bound. SPY's trading between 269 and 274. So we're not overly hot, and we're not overly negative in marketplace. We're in a strong uptrending market that's caught in a range. Q's daily chart consolidating above this 170 level, also range bound, also trending in a strong market. We'll take a look at our SPYs and our 5-minute chart. SPY failing to hold above 270, 260. This is an inflection point on this particular morning. So there was a potential for a sell-off back towards the bottom of the channel once it broke and held below 270, 170. So if it got below the bottom of that channel and you got negative news that came out, maybe that gives you a little bit more ammunition to be short. All right, but I like to start with the big picture. Where are we in the marketplace overall? And that's going to help me inform my trade decisions. Q's on the 5-minute chart, similar action. failed to hold above the top of the channel at 173.50 and sold off quickly back into the range. All right, so here are the fundamentals for this trade. This is a trade in MU, large cap, very well-known name. Short float, only 4.56%. ATR, good ATR. ATR stands for average true range, 2.61. It moves $2.61 on average intraday. Institutional ownership, 81.7%. So I love how one of our interns helped us to put together this presentation, and I loved how one of the interns threw in a key fundamental of institutional ownership. And we should talk more about this when we're going through our playbook trades. We should talk more about this because it's so big. And the reason why it's big is if you've got big institutional ownership and something bad happens in a particular stock, you get a ton of selling that comes into the marketplace. And this particular intern actually cited Dr. Steenbarger, who likes to say, hey, if you've got a particular name where there's very large institutional ownership and a negative news headline hits the tape, you could see some of those big institutional sellers come into the marketplace, and they're like a cruise ship. They get headed in one direction, in this case down, and it's very hard for them to turn around. So knowing that there's very large institutional ownership in a name is very important, because then you can look to spot to see if those really large orders are coming into marketplace. And if that really powerful cruise-like directional move that continues for days is coming into marketplace. Average volume, very liquid, very high volume, 50.76 million per day. That's a lot. That's a ton of volume. All right, and the breaking news that gets released on MU is that there's a temporary ban for selling 26 products in China, which is the world's largest semiconductor market. And this was a result of a patent case decision which ruled in favor of a Taiwanese competitor, UMC. So they can't sell 26 of their products in China. That means they've got a smaller opportunity to make money. That means that they've got 26 products that they can't make money on in a big region of the world. That means they're going to make less money. And the market tends to react quickly and figure things out later. And so when a news item like this hits the tape, it's reasonable to assume most market participants are going to view this negatively. And they're going to sell first and ask questions later, and you're going to get a pretty big down move. Okay, so this is news you can understand. All of us know what MU does. It's a very well-known large cap company. And this is as easy of a breaking news example as we're going to get in marketplace. And so we'd like to look at, hey, how's MU's daily chart doing to help us color how we're going to trade this setup. So I'm not pointing out the strongest support level on these charts because there really wasn't one, but it should be noted that there is an inflection point that we can be looking at, and especially considering that it was also the previous day's lows. So when you look at our longer term charts, we actually can spot a level that can give us some information when we're trading this intraday. When we look at our 5-minute chart, green lines here are the key inflection point areas on our intraday charts. All right, so we want to be in the trade and understand, hey, where can this go to? Where can I add on a little bit more risk? Where should I take a little bit of risk off in the direction of the move? And so the trade management. So I'm just going to focus on two pretty big opportunities for your trading career. One is first in. Okay, and the trade strategy is you're sitting at a desk, you are close to reliable news sources, and you notice that, hey, if this stock gets a little bit below 54, that's going to show some intraday weakness, and with a news catalyst that's negative, that's a really good short entry. So you're sitting at your desk and, boom, you get a news alert on Bloomberg that hits the tape. It gets below that 54 intraday support level. You see some volume coming in. You want to get it as close to that 54 as you possibly can. And you're making a first in trade. News hits. It's below important intraday level. You can control your risk. The news is really negative, and boom, you react. First in. All right, and so great trade, first in trade. And look, some of you may say, that's too fast for me. I'm not that type of trader. I don't know if I have such a reliable news service. I don't know if I'm going to have a $2,000 a month Bloomberg terminal next to me. I don't know if I'm going to pipe in a really expensive squawk into my home office. Fair enough. I don't know if I'm going to catch it on Twitter fast. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I'll just tell you, this first in trade, you can make a ton of money. But if you can't capture that move, then you can wait for that pullback. And look, we get that pullback and we get it, a little bit above 53, only a point away from where it was sitting before the news announcement. We still got plenty of meat on the bones. And so you miss this, you see the big volume coming in, you wait for that pullback. VWAP is about 53.20-ish, comes in, holds a little bit below VWAP, and you want to look for an area. Don't think things are going to stop right in the nose, but you're getting a little bit of resistance at 53, a little bit above 53, but generally around this 53 area, we're getting this resistance that comes in. And this area is where you can start your swing trade. And this is what I mean by looking for that pullback. This is what I mean by looking for that lower high. Right, you've got your areas up here. You have a tough down move. You want to look for a lower high into that pullback. You want to get a good consolidation period. You want to get an area you can trade against. We love if this is below VWAP. We love if the news is really negative. We love if on our longer term intraday charts that MU has a long distance to go before the next technical support level. All right, so this is, for probably most of you listening, the big opportunity. For the active day traders, I actually think this is something you're going to want to really work on as well, because you're going to crush this. You're going to crush this. And so the idea is, generally, you want to cover a lot as the selling increases and the volume picks up. All right, so as the move is steep and the volume is puking, you take it off, and you're sort of adding back into the pops, and you can see we get some panic here, right? We get a huge volume increase. Look at the blue line indicating the volume. You get that steep move to the downside. You're waiting for that panic, waiting for those panic sell candles to come in, and you're getting that with the huge volume increase and the steepness to the downside. Get a move almost towards $50, 50.10 being the low. The stock has now moved from 54 all the way to 50 in short order. And remember, this was a short day, so we want to. Some of you may want to take this off before you go home at night. All right, so that is how you're looking at it. First in or pullback trade. Take profits off into panic, add risk back into sharp sharp moves back to the upside where you get in at a good price again. So you can see adds a half a lot back on a candle that pushed above the previous lower high but sold off back into the range. And you're covering into the end of the day. All right, so this trader works on how he can improve. More of a slower, cautious trader, doesn't want to chase, knows that about himself, reviews the trade based on his personality. Terrific. All right, so what you've learned from the example that we went over today. You've learned a setup that you can use to build a trading career. This one setup could be enough for you to have a trading career. You've learned a setup that you can use to supplement your trading career and more. So you have trades with edge. You don't take the setup. You can add it and make more. You've learned how some of the best prop traders in the world profit. Period, the end, full stop. And you've learned how to think through a trade like a pro. And I always hope then when you're listening to these trade reviews and these opportunities for you to profit in marketplace, that what you're really taking away is how we're going about setting up a trade, how we're going about thinking through a trade. Hey, so go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos produced for the trading community. If you want to learn 4 more real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all our new traders, and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar we're currently running. Just click this link to sign up for the free webinar right now. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from it than from years of online education. Our goal with these videos is to provide value for the trading community. Please let us know if this video was helpful for your trading in the comments sections below. And please feel free to leave ideas for future videos that we can produce for you in the comments section as well. From all of us at SMB, trade well.